In this video we're continuing our discussion of the map layer feature for Google Maps in the version 11 grid. So we're going to discuss now how the icons on a particular layer in a map can be shown or hidden. So let's go back to the builder and go to design mode, and I'm going to go here and insert a button, and I'm going to use Action JavaScript, and I'm going to use a Google Map method, and I'm going to be talking to the map on the alternate view. So there's its ID, and the action that I'm going to choose here is hide a marker layer, and the layer that I'd like to hide is layer 1. So let's go now and run that, and if I click on this button here, you can see that layer 1 got hidden. So now I'm going to go back to this Action JavaScript here, right click on it and say View X Basic, and what I see here is that when I click on that button, we're calling a JavaScript function, which in turn is calling another JavaScript function, and here's the key piece of code that I need, which is the method that hides the map. So I'm going to just copy that to the clipboard. So next what I'm going to do is go to the freeform area above the grid, which is over here, and you can see that in this freeform area I've gone ahead now and I've placed a checkbox control, and the checkbox control has 3 entries, one for layer 1, one for layer 2, and one for layer 3, and I've given the checkbox control this name, layer name, and then angle bracket, which indicates that all 3 checkboxes have the same, are part of the same logical group, and which means that I can then use the built-in JavaScript function in the Alpha 5 JavaScript library called $GVS to read the value in the checkbox. And and then when the user clicks in the checkbox, we're calling a JavaScript function that we've defined in the JavaScript function declaration section called show layers, and we're passing into that the list of checkboxes that are currently checked. So let's go now and look at the code in this JavaScript function called show layers, and you can see here that what we're doing is when you check on one of those items, so you can see here that what this JavaScript function does is at first it hides all of the map layers using that JavaScript method that we examined when we right-clicked on the Action JavaScript. So we're hiding layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, and then this function gets passed into it a list of all of the selected items in the checkbox, and so our JavaScript code here loops through all of the items in this array, and then basically uses the show layer method to show the layer. And since the layers were all defined using lowercase, I just call the lowercase method on this object to turn it into lowercase. So let's go ahead now and take a look again. So you can see initially all 3 layers are shown, but now if I go and uncheck that button, layer 1 is hidden, now layer 2 is hidden, and now layer 3 is hidden. So in addition to hiding and showing layers, you can also cause the icons on a particular layer to bounce in order to bring attention to them. So you can see if I click on this button over here, we've caused the icons on layer 1 to bounce, and there's layer 2, and there's layer 3. And this was done again using Action JavaScript. So if we go over here back to properties, and then we go to our freeform area over here, you'll see we've got our 3 action buttons over there. And if I go and edit that, and I'm going to just pause now because we're out of time.